Peace, peace. Welcome to the first episode of the Real Mom Talks. I'm Angel, your host. Before we get started, I always want to ask God to come into this space and lead it, to bless our words, open our hearts, and to make sure that we say something that another mom needs to hear. I'd love to introduce our guest, Nia. She is a mom, a wife, a certified Pilates instructor, and a nail technician. We have her here today to dive into the topic that we do not talk about enough in motherhood: body image and self-confidence in us and in our daughters.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm so excited to be in this space with you.
Thank you. You guys are gonna love this, okay? We're gonna jump right into it with the first question. What's one thing you wish you heard as a little girl about beauty or confidence?
That real confidence comes from keeping promises to yourself. So learning now and like recovering from like very low self-esteem as a younger and like teenage girl. I'm learning now as an adult and teaching to my daughter, like waking up when you say you're gonna wake up, doing the things that you say you're gonna do for yourself, like keeping those agreements is where that confidence comes from. Right. Just like our daughters had that confidence in us because we show up. We got to do the same for ourselves.
Yes. I love that. Yes. Somebody should have told us when we was little that these habits, they show up in a big way later.
They do.
And how do you think that shapes the way your daughter talks to herself?
Yara is very, very big on affirming herself. I was actually talking about her the other day. She was there and I was just running off like some blessings and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I have, a home and a wonderful husband and a daughter and before I could even say anything, she said, who is smart?
Right.
And I was like, yes. She was like, who is beautiful? I said, yes. Like she really
affirming
loves
herself.
Yeah, she's a very confident young lady for sure.
That's beautiful.
I had her running down the list. I was like, tell me more about yourself. Yeah.
That's beautiful. I'm so proud.
Me too.
Yes, Yara, keep it up, girl. If you're seeing this, proud of you, girl. Keep it up. Yes. Okay, moving right along because y'all, we're getting into it. We're getting the juice that we need and the compliments and the self-esteem built today in front of us, okay? Comparison culture. That's something that we dealing with all around with social media, school, family, friends. Everywhere we look is comparison. What is something that you're doing to help your daughter navigate that? Because she's how old?
She's 6. She'll be 7 next month.
Right. And they're at that age where they want to follow the big cousins. They want to, do what their friends are doing. How are you helping her, kind of balance that?
So honestly, so what we were talking about before with like the affirmations and stuff, I feel like that's kind of the base layer is like having that confidence in general.
Right.
Because you're less likely to want to be somebody else if you actually like who yourself. You are. But also like I really try to encourage gratitude and like presence with her. Okay. So like being present in the moment and being grateful for everything that you have and everything that you are, because when you celebrate your own like uniqueness and the differences that you have with the people around you, you're more likely to just enjoy that space that you're in and not be trying to reach. It's not. And she does still, she'll be like, oh, so-and-so at school has this and I want this too. Or I saw this and why don't I get to do that, And I mean, sometimes it's like, yeah, that's fair. Like also just validating it. Like, oh, that really sucks. Like
that's all they want. They just
it really is. Like they want to be able to complain.
Yes.
And that's okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm feeling this way and, I don't like it. But yeah, I agree. Definitely validate them in everything that you can, validate them in the small, the big, the in-betweens. Yeah. Validation means a lot. Trust me, this is coming from my inner child.
Yes.
Very much so. I try to tell my daughters, like, you know, that there's a bigger picture, you know, like just because you see somebody with something that you like, you know, you don't know what their reality is, you know, when they go home.
Definitely.
You don't know if they're, you know, able to see, you know, their aunties or their uncles or their family members as much as you do, you know. So maybe them getting that special cup is the way that they're coping, you know, between those life changes. So you got to just be happy with what you have and be happy for them that they have that, you know. So
that part too, knowing how to celebrate others. I feel like you're gonna, like, instead of comparing yourself always to be like, oh, they have this or I want that, like being happy for people. That's a really great point.
It makes you, you know, when it's your turn, it feels better, you know, celebrating other people. When it comes around to you, it's like, okay, like, I know what it feels to be celebrated, you know, and how that love reciprocated. That's what I tell my girls. When we go to other people's birthday party, you know, today is about them. You know, my biggest rule, no crying at other people's birthday party. It's not your birthday. That's a big P, because, you know, it's their special day. You don't want to look back and see that you were the one making it about you, you know? So I try to teach my children that now, and, you know, enjoy somebody else in their space, you know, like you said, like celebrate somebody else. If your daughter overheard the way you talk about your body, would you be proud or would you want to change your words?
5 years ago, I would need to change my words. Now, I would be proud of myself. She would be proud of me.
Okay, so what does that look like 5 years ago?
Honestly, I think that I used to see my body from other people's perspective a lot when I was younger, because I am a little smaller than the average person. And so I heard a lot about it all the time, literally from like yay high to now. I'm still hearing about it. In quite literally any space possible, I've been hearing about my body. So I started to see my body as a child and a young adult through the eyes of other people and
their reality.
You know, and their reality was very confusing, because it's like, oh, well, I need to be, some people are praising it and they're like, oh, you look so great, you look like a supermodel, and it's like, that sounds nice, but that's not quite how I see myself. And then there's other people that are like, oh, you need to eat more, you need a sandwich. Like, I've literally had people tell me in my workplace, what do you eat, sweetheart? Because I want to buy you a sandwich. Because are you eating enough? Like, I've heard some crazy things. So
I want to buy you a
girl. And I was at my job. Paula Hennessy, this is
that's
but no,
crazy.
I really just started to, like, I had to unpack basically all of the things and be like, is this thought mine? If not, releasing it. Yes. And I think that making peace in my body at all of the sizes, because I also fluctuate. Like, sometimes I'm really small, sometimes I'm not as small, which nobody has anything to say when I'm not.
When you get a little thick.
And I used to have this obsession with, like, gaining weight, being thick, or being like having a curviness that I just don't have, or like trying to achieve something that is just not what my body does. So kind of getting into my own way to just love on me, and, you know, getting into my fitness bag for like my strength, my health, my energy, things like that. Like, focusing on the other things have just kind of put me in the best body that I've had so far.
I agree.
And
so you said 5 years ago. So would you say motherhood played a part?
It's definitely played a part in it. I grew up with a mom who, when she was not pleased with her body, she didn't say nice things about her own body. And that's actually a conversation that I've had with her before. Like, you know, like, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel great about my body if this is how you feel about yours. And so having that experience already, like, as a daughter, I knew that I wanted to get a head start on that as a mother.
Get a handle on those emotions.
But it definitely was also just like, it's like wanting to feel good in myself and kind of find a new version of myself since motherhood.
Trying to see who you are again, and like, okay, time to get Nia back.
That part.
I agree. I definitely think motherhood plays it's like tethering, you know. It's like you change, but it's like, do you change,
Yeah.
like how are you changing? Are you
Yeah.
changing for the better, or are you changing because you're settling now for
Yeah.
the role of motherhood? I see a lot of moms
Yes.
like, oh, my children come first, my children come first. And it's like, yes, your children come first, but in what degree? Do you
Yeah.
suffer yourself and then create unhealthy children because you're neglecting yourself,
Mm-hmm.
And you can go to the doctor and he will tell you that you, mom, taking care of you is how you will be able to pour into your children.
Yeah.
Because if you're unwell, there's no way you're pouring from an empty glass. It's just no way,
Period.
I've tried, trust me, and it drove me crazy.
Yeah.
So the last question I have for Nia is gonna be about legacy. If your daughter could take one lesson about self-love into adulthood, what would you hope it to be?
Ooh.
One lesson.
One lesson about self-love.
Yes.
Hope that she carries with her that herself should be the easiest person to love. Like, I just would love for her to know that she is easy to love. Like, I want her to always feel easy to love for herself.
Yes.
Like, I never want her to feel like there's any like thing that she does or anything that she could say that would make it hard for her to love herself, or like not beating up on herself and stuff like that,
Yes.
I hope that makes sense, but like just knowing
she's enough.
knowing that she's enough, and knowing that love that comes from within, that radiates from within, is literally like gonna carry her so far.
Yes.
Like being that light, being that love that
For
you
herself.
want to feel
Yes.
around you, you have to be it first.
That's
then
it, girl.
you
it
attract
yourself.
it.
I
magnet
learned
for
that
it.
in my adulthood. So the fact that you want to teach her that,
Yes.
and now it's like,
Yeah.
girl, that's key, because I literally learned that in my adulthood. I think I had a
Same.
birthday, and it was 12 o'clock midnight, and nobody had texted me or told me happy birthday. And baby, that year I did some self-evaluation. Okay, like
You got
I'm a Virgo,
to.
so birthdays is a big deal. But
Yeah.
that year I literally was like, okay, what's up with you? Like, first of all, like I was so upset with myself for looking for that from people. It was like, girl, what's going on? Like, are you not having fun in life? Like, what's happening?
Are you not having? No, for real.
Like,
we were
are you
just
not
talking about
having
this the
fun?
other day, because
Yes.
you were like, you didn't, because you called me for my birthday, and I was like, girl, my phone was
Sitting on the couch
gone.
without your phone.
And you're like, on your birthday though? And I'm like, honestly, I was feeling good that day. I literally did not respond to any of my birthday
And that's
messages until like the
beautiful.
next day.
That's beautiful.
And I low-key felt bad, I'm not gonna lie, because I love like that anybody wanted to hit me up and
Right.
say happy birthday and celebrate me. But it's just like that, like I have had that moment too where it's like,
Expectations.
yeah, and then people don't
reality.
meet them, and then it's like, well, shoot, what if I meet it?
Right. What if I meet it? Then it's set higher.
Yeah.
Now you got to come up higher.
Yeah.
Because I've already did it. And
Yeah.
teaching our daughters that it's going to be like when they say giving them wealth at a young age,
Yes.
like that's the wealth that we're going to be passing on.
Yes.
That money can't buy. What's his name? Eric Thomas. He says, like, your parents might have, gave you, all their assets, or you might have came from wealth, you might have came from somebody, but you ain't gonna outwork me, you're not gonna outsmart my girls. Like,
Yeah.
I'm putting them on game now, that's why we are here having this conversation with Nia, because we want to ready our children now. We don't want to wait and learn, them learn things the hard way, or not even the hard way, just being told things versus life lessons, and being taught things that they can experience for themselves. You can take something that they do in a day and teach them these things, looking in the mirror. Hey, how do you feel about how you look? Look at your outfit. What do you think about it? Do you like it? Do it match?
Girl, do it match? Because no, but
we'll talk about that on another episode. But yes, Thank you. Thank you so much. And, I know her going into her adulthood feeling like she is enough is more than enough of legacy for her to be, flourishing and just doing great things. Like I said in the beginning, you are somebody that I look up to because, you walk in the room with self-love, you're always so gracious with yourself, you're going to give yourself what you need, what today you brought yourself some cherries, a little snack.
I had to have a little snacky snack.
She provided herself a little snack, and that's
girl.
just one of the things that I love about her because she puts herself first. And that's something that I really admire about her.
Honestly, I love that you create these spaces and make it a point to share them with us because it's like on your journey of like learning and growing and giving your girls what they need, which you do so well, like the way that you show up for them. But it's like the fact that you always, like, you have such a generous spirit. You open these spaces for all of us. You're like, okay, if I'm learning, if I'm growing, if I'm improving, like, I want you to be, I want you to have this available to you too.
I need all of our children to be equally on the same playing field. I don't want mine to be here and yours, here. Because no, we're in this together, like we're learning and we're growing together. And if I find knowledge quicker, that's why we're here, because we're all going to experience this knowledge early, and get to work,
You're my chief community builder, friend.
I'll take that title.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, well, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining us for our very first episode of the Real Moms Talk. Thank you to our very special guest, Nia. Thank you for coming and sharing what was on your heart about this matter and this topic, and we can't wait to have you again.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm the inaugural episode guest.
Thank you. And again, join us, share this video with one of your friends or your loved ones, and peace, mamas.